So, no offense, sweetheart, but if you'll get rid of this Reams guy and all this stuff, I'm very familiar with Kerry, although I did think that the 60-minute special they did on him, it made me think much less of 60 Minutes, where a bunch of guys peed in a jar and Kerry analyzed it, and of course they laughed at that. Well, you're going to find a chemical homeostasis of all chemistry, so that was no big deal. That was stupid of 60 Minutes, a little jokesy. And then they took his chemical and mathematical equations to a medical doctor. Well, of course, and here was some big old fat medical doctor. Well, there's big old fat naturopaths too, so not really aiming that at him. But this big old fat medical doctor looked at his chemical equations, and they asked him, what does that chemical equation mean to you? Well, of course it didn't mean anything to him. This was Kerry Reams' life work. And of course, it didn't mean nothing to him. So that's a little underhanded. That's where we're at in America. You know, we try to play this magical smokescreen thing. But no offense, Dr. Jensen was hot on Roche and all these chemical thinkers, not me. And you can if you want. It's okay, sweetheart. I'm not cutting you. I'm just saying that if you want to have fun in your life and you want to heal people like never before and you want to take people to the top of the mountain and you have extreme cases like we have, you can't play around with thinking chemistry. Doesn't work. Half of these people are wrong, and half of the way you look at this, half of this isn't accurate. But so forgive me, but let that go. And join the ranks of the high spiritual. Learn detoxification. Learn the fact of raw. No animal on this planet cooks their food. There's no way on this earth you can say that eating cooked foods and dead animals is superior to raw foods. I'm sorry, you don't have the experience to say that. And looking at that, you have to understand there's a process to taking man where we are in terms of generations of cooked food and dead animal eating and beans and all that crap, and bringing you into the vitality and the liveliness of raw foods. No question, it can be a journey and you can have ups and downs, no question. But let that intellectual side go and you'll be good. Okay, I wanted to touch on, and forgive me for that one, guys, but we have to let go. This is not an intellectual dissertation. I can give it to you if you want, and we can really go through this and show you, but I'm not in the mindset anymore. I let that go. I tore into this like you wouldn't believe. That's the kind of nature I am. And I can tell you, when you start getting into chemical transmutations and you start getting into antagonistic chemistries and things, and you have to understand the genetic disposition of cells, their inability to produce different hormones and steroids, also the congestion and the mucus accumulation in the body and how that blocks O2 utilization and absorption. If you start getting into this whole complexity of the body, of where we're at, you'll see these problems, and how you can't judge chemistry from that. There's just no way. Okay, enough said on that one, guys. Now, yeah, someone asked me about cheese and yogurt, and thanks for that guy that, any of that stuff's crap. If you do a little bit once in a while, I mean, who cares? But if cheese and yogurts I got into yogurts for a while after I was raw. Man, boy, did that hurt. Did I fill up with mucus? I mean, I tell you, these type of foods might be good at one level, but you all like the top of the mountain, right? You all want to get on the top of the mountain. You all want to experience the Godhead. You all want to have the greatest health possible. And for those that don't, it's okay. Balance out wherever you want to be. I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. I can't say a thing, Once in a while I'll have a cookie or something, Just the nature of things. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore, let me tell you. It's much better to put your attention toward the Supreme Being and how do I experience the totality of life. That's a far greater rush, let me tell you. So, if you get too strict, you'll find your ego gets too big. Mine did, and others that have, and it's it's just part of that. If you look too much to the self, and self-discipline is a great attribute. I love it. I was so strict. I mean, I was so strict I lost all my friends, and that was the problem. So you want to walk with balance because you want to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody, but certainly you have to love everything. Remember the Jalaladdin Rumi who fell in love with everything. Everything he saw was God. Every atom, every blade of grass. Boy, that is a great story on how you open yourself up to the allness of all life and how you have a blissful experience while you're on this rock spinning through space. Someone asked me about juicing fruits and stuff. Fruit juice is pretty concentrated. A lot of times people can't handle real juiced dark grapes, and so they cut it with apple juice. I'll say this, I'm more in juicing vegetables than I am juicing fruit. I think we should eat our fruits and juice our vegetables, particularly because of the heavy cellulose that these vegetables have to offer you and how much work your body goes through digesting them. It depends where you want your energy. Do you want your energy here in your gut digesting your food, or do you want it here where you can have more ecstasy and more joy and be in control and more aware? I like that better than having it down in the body doing different things for me. So it's an energetic move here. This intellectual dissertation reminds me of fruitarianism and breatharianism, how that'll freak the biochemists out of the world. I mean, they're just, we just can't go there. Sunscreen and skin cancer. Your skin, your body needs to be a predominantly alkaline being, 80-20. Because of the amount of waste that are produced in the body, you definitely have to have this ingestion of 80-20, which is what fruits and vegetables that are grazed and picked properly generally have. You have to have that. Not all acids like carbon dioxide is broken down into water. Not all acids have to leave the body and have to be constantly removed out of the body. And so you're going to see this need of the body to move its electrolyte balance, or let's say its alkaline electrolyte balance around in that process of doing that. And that's another big issue about the intellectual side of that, is that you really have to understand detoxification and the tremendous move of this systemic organism. To have predominantly bicarbonate interstitially is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that, particularly even taking baking soda, to be honest with you. It's impossible. That's the problem that we face. You have to understand the nature of the lymphatic fluids, the interstitial fluids, and realize you're dealing 75% lymph, which is the mucousy, thicker fluid. You're not going to see chemistry wax and wane as easy as you think here. But your skin, remember, is your kidney, and you have to remember that also. There was some reference here about lung extraction of CO2, which is carbon dioxide, in kidneys, but you got to remember the gigantic skin. Your skin is as much of an eliminator as your kidneys almost so in your lungs. So very important to understand you have a lot of elimination ports here. Get your body alkaline. As you get your body alkaline, and you are able to have more bicarbonate, you are able to have more of a movement to the interstitial fluids, the lymphatic fluids in particular, you're going to see the body love the sun. Remember, our skin pigmentation has changed because we've lived in northern climates. You notice that darker skinned people have more of the tropical or heat climates. I prefer that type of skin because it takes the heat and the sun better because we're a tropical species. So there's a movement that your body has to get used to, but you got to have full spectrum lighting. You cannot get away from sun. If you look at your unhealthiest people, they never get sun. They just never get sun, and particularly all your arthritises and all this, you got to have the sun. You can get rid of the skin cancer. You go inside and clean your lymph system. Remember, you also have topical salves that we can pull skin cancer right off of you, basal cell, easy stuff. But you want to clean up that skin, and you'll have not worry about the sun anymore. I'm real scared about suntan lotions and things, sunscreen. Get natural stuff if you can. Very important, because what you put on your skin is your chemistry you're bringing in.